Oh, word. Oh, okay.
Yes, 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 yes,
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, yes. Yes.
Yes, definitely yes. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Go in.
Yes, yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Maria, gratia plena, Maria, gratia plena, Ove Dominus tecum, et benedictum mulieribus, et benedictus, et benedictum fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
I got married very young. I was 16 years old. I'm a little girl. But at the time, it was very normal for us to get married early. I believe it, yeah. I believe in the enchantment world. In a princess that comes and meets his princess that comes in a white horse. And everything is a bed of roses.
Ave Maria.
such a nice moment.
You'll never get married. Don't. It's a bad decision.
Oh! Viva gli sposi! Wow, viva gli sposi! Viva gli sposi! Viva gli sposi!
But I was wrong. I was wrong. I have 2 daughters. The first when I have 19, and the other one 3 years later. Unfortunately, I have a lot of hungry. I had many difficulties. When my daughter's been sick, I even need to ring my ring. I need to sell my ring because I don't have money to take as medication. Sometimes I see my husband and my daughters hitting and hitting, and I just looking. Then I wait and I wait, and there's nothing. There's nothing, for I hit. And I cry when I was alone, I cry. It's not easy. I have my mom's help. My mom's helped me a lot, but it's not easy for her. My husband don't win so much. And my father was a fisherman. And the fisherman, just even when the fish comes in the summer, then in the winter, don't have money to give me. I live in a small house next to my parents-in-law, who live with above his eldest daughter. It was a big house with 2 floors. One day, my husband got angry with his own dad. I don't understand why. It's not a apparent reason to that. And after that, it's a real nightmare. Oh, my life! Come on! They cut my electricity. I don't have electricity in home. I don't have electricity to make nothing. And evening, the windows, they cut me. They're facing their house covered with boards. Not even my daughters could enter the building and go visit his grandmother, because my sister-in-law wouldn't let them. We spent about 2 years waiting for social housing until finally we have a new home, and we go out from the nightmare. We go out to finish. Years later, he spoke again. Yeah. Some months after my father-in-law dying. My mother-in-law dies after 19. She's joy, not so the company of my daughters, but also for my granddaughters. Today, I have a home, I have a car, I'm happy. I've forgiven her, but I don't forget what happened. I cannot.
Enough! As a facilitator, I try to teach people how to expand the critical thinking. So like, it helps in everyday life not to go in the far right or far left, or for anything thinking, and also keeping a balance and not believing anything people say to you. For example, it's very common in Greece, the far right, do you go to kids, and because they haven't developed critical thinking, they play with their heads and they go for the party. It's very bad. So I had friends that has been through that. So when I was like 16 years old, or maybe I was always anti-fascist and anti-racist, and so I remember a childhood friend of mine that we met on Iceland in summer, and he was like, oh yeah, I'm a part of a Golden Dawn, and I'm getting like higher and higher. There is some like level, and I was like, are you fucking crazy? What do you mean? Like, they're killing people. You can't do that, you know? It was an open secret that GD were killing people directly and indirectly, refugees and everything.
Volksgenosse, wir sind hier heute und alle müssen sterben, die sind nicht unsere Rasse.
Our ancestors in England, Italy, France went through that, and you can support killing them, and they're just human beings.
Ich will sprechen. Wir müssen alle versterben, die nicht für uns fighten.
You can decide to kill them just because of what?
Wir können alles tun, was es muss mich.
So, and we had a fight. We had a fight! An argument, and then we didn't speak for like 2 years, and then after he came again to the island, the next summer he come to me to thank me because it was like his wake-up call. Then his mother also figured. She's a really nice woman with a critical thinking, very beautiful mind. So she woke him up, and he was like, thank you for showing me this thing, because I had no idea. Very bad. I was like so angry when things like that, so much injustice, like people not understanding what's going on, it makes me so furious. So I was younger and I was so mad that I probably cried. So much anger, and I couldn't believe it that someone in my age raised me more or less like me. Like, he had a difficult childhood with his father, but his mother had the same ideas as mine, and we grew up in the same place that is very free camping, concert, theater, and I couldn't believe that someone my age was a part of GD. Now it's criminal party, and all heads of it are in prison.
center for adults with different disabilities. My work is very hard, physically and psychologically. After 10 years working at the center, I got very depressed. I've been at home for a year. I can't have a normal life. I can't live in the house. I spend my days in bed. I feel very tired and anxious. I've been to 3 psychologists, but none of them can help me. I take a lot of medicine and nothing. I have 2 children and I can give them the attention they need. Difficult situation because I feel like I can't go back to work and what I earn at home is little. I miss my work, my colleagues and my friends. My friends want to help me but they don't know how.
So the first thing that came to my mind when I thought of critical thinking mainly regards politics. So I thought initially at the lack of critical thinking in voting. For example, not even going at all to the elections. And that's what happened in Italy in September. Because year after year, less and less people are voting. As for more practical and relatable examples, I am personally an overthinker, so I never rush into a decision. For example, it took me a while to decide what to do right after getting my bachelor's degree, whether to volunteer abroad or not. So when it comes to take important decisions, I personally don't think I lack of critical thinking, because if so, I would have probably done a master's as suggested by my whole family, as most of my friends did right after. However, choosing Poland came after a kind of impulsive decision. In fact, I took the final decision 1 week before my departure date and started packing right after. At the same time, I was not looking for any kind of volunteering project, but only for those I could have earned something from afterwards. For instance,
Teacher is out!
Teacher is out!
Come on, stop! Tommy! Come on! Come on!
Teacher.
At the same time, I was not looking for any kind of volunteering project. For instance, working with young people is a possibility that I'm not excluding in the future. So I considered the youth center a workplace where I could have learned something new while living in a foreign country.
Everything fine. Do we want to smoke? Does anyone have a cigarette? A cigarette? Come on. Someone. Thanks. A lighter? It's fine, it's fine. Let's go smoke. Come on. It's fine. Okay. Let's go, let's go. Let's smoke. Enjoy your cigarettes. So. Tell me, what happened? What's wrong? What's wrong?
About 18 years ago, I had a friend who was going through an identical situation to mine. I had been divorced 2 years before, within 2 children, one aged 9 years and another aged 10 months. And she also had problems with her husband, and she wanted to divorce and had a 9-year-old son. I gave her my example, and I gave her my strength to live in peace, even if it costs her not having certain goods for her and her son. She will follow my advice in the sense that we don't need to deal with anyone. We have to be happy, and let people be happy, regardless of whether we have children or not.
And how did you feel in that moment?
How did you feel in that moment?
When she made the decision, I felt almost responsible for her attitude, as my personality was different from hers. I'm more like
become fodder and very independent. And I didn't know if it would work with her, who was more calculating, vulnerable and dependent. It was a very difficult step for her, with a conservative family. During that 1 or 2 years, I was blaming myself if things didn't go well with her and her son. She felt that I was almost the driver of that situation. I thank you for the strength and courage that you transmit to her, and that she's able to learn well as the strongest woman has she become. So, nowadays, we often sit back and smile when we think about certain situations we went through together during those years. So, definitely, nothing pays the price of our freedom and clear conscience. Life is what needs us, and courage.
Please take me out of this place. Yeah. I cannot do it anymore. Please. Take me out of this place, please. I was studying design, and it made me feel so bad. My parents came, and I felt completely a failure. Only one question in my mind. What am I gonna do now? I really like art. But I know it's hard to make money with it. My parents told me. I spent 1 year doing nothing. It was my third course of acting. So I start to see real the possibility to be an actor. But the same question were still remaining there. How can I pay for an acting school? How can I be self-independent to do what I want to do? All these thoughts, all this question made me so uncomfortable and avoid me to feel me free. My thoughts were confused. I only knew I like act. And I felt good at it. I had the fortune to meet the director. That helped me and proposed me some jobs and involved me in new projects. That really helped me. And I decided to risk and study. Now, I believe I would have taken that decision in any case, even with nobody help. I think that the possibility to think in a free way comes first from you. But things would have been much more difficult without the approval of the others. I also think that is not fundamental, and that we also can learn to live without this.
It wasn't a school. It was one guy who took my ear and pulled me to home by my ear. The whole way home. I was crying so much. He took me home the whole way by my ear. But the worst one, I think, it was when I was 15. I suffered a lot of bullying. My family was poor at that time, so my parents didn't have their own home. Now they do. I didn't have brand clothes like, you know, Nike and stuff. My classmates did. So, but what didn't kill me made me stronger. Yeah, I was 15 and I was already thinking like that. I never told to my mom about my suffering in the school. I remember one day I went to the hairdresser. I really wanted curly hair. But because I had a lot of hair, when hairdresser finished, they become bigger. And my classmates started to call me water dog.
Water dog! Water dog!
They always had something bad to say to criticize me. They always had something. They called me names all the time and they passed me. And the ninth grade, my class had a natural leader. You know, that guy was very bad. He called me names and he said to everyone to do so. Not everyone, because like 3 or 4 girls, they were suffering the same. So it was like, either you are with me or you are without me. I remember one math class and the students didn't like the teacher. He always passed the class with drinking water. So the leader said to classmates, bring their water. Next time everyone brings a water glass. So everyone took their bottles. Me and my friend also did because we were afraid not to. And I drank very fast and put bottle to the garbage, but them, other students, they had a very big bottle and they passed it through every mouth. And the teacher got very upset. This was all the time of the math class and the teacher left our classroom and didn't come back anymore. We needed another one. The situation with the water was just an example, but there were more. One time the history teacher heard the guy calling me bad things, and in a school year you couldn't have 20 faults. With one more than that you didn't pass the class. For this guy it was a 21st. And the history teacher said, I don't care. I heard what you said, you don't pass. I haven't talked to the teacher like, it's okay, please don't do that. Now he won't pass. And I always thought it was my fault, but it wasn't. So the guy stayed in the same grade and had to repeat the year. I think now that what didn't kill me made me stronger. Now I work with kids, and that's the first thing that I took, and I pay a lot of attention if someone jokes about another person, and I really hate it. Sometimes I see that guy and I don't like it. I don't like to talk to him. He had a girlfriend and became a parent with her, and their daughter stays where I work. She's one of my students, but the guy never comes to school because he and his partner separated now and he doesn't care about his girl. So this time everyone knows what the guy was. Everyone is adult now, and isn't the kid saying, oh, he's really funny, Pedro, you're the leader. Nah, he goes to Marina, but nobody cares about him anymore.
Going to an all-boys school growing up was a bit weird. Every day, 1,000 boys walking into a small school where it was constantly crammed. You'd walk into the PE rooms with a stench of sweat, or going to the bathroom where there's piss all over the floor, toilet seats snapped in half, and penises drawn on every wall and desk. Personally, for me, reflecting on school environment, it was a bit 50-50. I've always been small growing up, and this school did not help. Going into the school where the average height is 6 foot, and there was little me going in at 4'11" at the big age of 12. Was constantly picked on every week. It was terrible. Where toxic masculinity is at its highest. If you didn't fit into a certain category, you'd be picked on or pushed aside and labelled different. I always try to fit in. Always. I did things I hated just to look cool. I did boxing for a couple of years and I hated it. I hated getting my face smashed in every week. But everyone around me approved of it. And I liked that. I liked the improvement and I kept doing it. But once I quit, they started picking on me again and started verbally pointing out my insecurities. When I was at younger ages, it used to get to me and I hated it. But when I got older, I got used to it. The school was very anti-bullying. Yet, whenever bullying was there, they wouldn't do shit about it. Which was what confused me most. But it wasn't just me who experienced it, I know that. And there's so many boys that has happened to and it's affected their mental health. Unless it was a physical fight, they wouldn't do shit. It made it a really toxic place. But it does bring it back to the fact that it does confuse me why Ireland is still one of the only schools in Europe that still has one-sex schools or no mix. And I know lads that have gone into the school and can't go out without talking to a girl. The only girls they've ever talked to is their mother and maybe their teachers. They haven't got a clue what to say. But Ireland really needs to fix this problem.
Thank you very much. We're going to take a 5-minute break and then we'll meet in the main room for a chat. You don't have to have the chat, we're going to facilitate it and we hope to see you there. Don't worry if you can't, enjoy your 5 minutes. When is 5 minutes from now?
It is 5:27 or 5:20.
We'll see you at half, or a little after that.
Thank you.
Thank you.